We had a spring. We had a spring like we hadn't seen in 10,000 years. The days were endlessly April, and the birds never stopped returning from the south. Days came in waves painted with buntings and grosbeaks, azure-winged and pine and rose-breasted. A green heron coasted onto the sand, teetering with the effort of trans-Gulf migration, and I watched her renegotiate her footing. A blue grosbeak, inexplicably minus her tail, fell into a purple lupin at the first line of dunes. Safe. Everyone saw indigo buntings drop from the sky in Pensacola and St. George Island and Fort DeSoto. I saw a raft of hummingbirds who had managed the crossing, probing nectar and insects from tiny white blooms of stinging nettle in a swale. 5 miles offshore, a fishing boat reported their decks filled with exhausted warblers, bright currency and song from the tropics. We had such a spring, and it was sent on the wings of birds to remind us of the gift of our lives on earth, and to insist that we pause. While the birds crossed over and the people paused, the air cleared in New Delhi and Chicago and Los Angeles. They parked their billions of cars and airplanes and cruise liners and container ships. Babies and children, born into the human economic machine, breathed as they never had before. Crime and traffic deaths halved, and there were no school shootings for the first time since 2002. Not every creature survived the pause. Along our coast, someone saw a Tennessee warbler drop from the sky and clamp a twig the way he knew to hold earth, but there was no life left beyond that small clutch, and the bird swung forward and died, not ever releasing the grip of his feet. I saw the washed-up feathers and bones of an indigo bunting on the beach. Its bill, the instrument of solving hunger, grotesquely out of proportion to its withered, starving body. The human toll of the viral pause mounted into the hundreds of thousands. Many who died were people of color or impoverished, imprisoned or elderly, along with the nurses and doctors working to heal them. Down at the coast, I saw a freshly migrated falcon tear into the flesh of a scarlet tanager, what little the Gulf crossing had left of its flesh. The killer and the killed had shared the same winds and airspace, but one had the greater power. Just so, the rich men and their corporations tear into the bodies of the poor and the disenfranchised. Sharpened by avarice, they believe they are entitled to their vaults of gold. But that is not true. Just for now, only the birds keep flying. In this pause, we occupy a liminal space, a period of potential initiation. As Michelle Brenner has written, it's an undecided moment when we are neither here nor there. While we are grounded, we have time to consider. When April is over, what path forward will we choose?